Hi, I am Gigi, an ex-Amazon senior leader and bar raiser here at Day One Careers. So in this video, I'm going to take you through what a conversational hiring manager interview is, also known as a Greenlight interview, and of course what you can expect. So I'm going to start with, before we move further any more, congratulations and celebrations. Okay, that's rubbish, and I started in far too high a key. I meant to start that lower. And I might get caught by YouTube's kind of copyright for that one. Sorry, Sir Cliff. I think you have to be a Brit to get that one. Okay, so why am I excited? Well, if you search for this video, it means that someone has mentioned to you this term, which in turn means that you impressed your panel enough for them to believe that you raised the bar. Yes, well done, seriously. So there are a series of events that can probably bring you to this point, and I know you're probably feeling a bit off and a bit miserable if you're watching this video. Don't, right? You've been through an Amazon loop and they loved you, but they didn't make you an offer. Okay, so this can happen for a couple of reasons. First, okay, you demonstrated overall behaviors of a bar raising candidate from a leadership principle point of view, but maybe they don't feel that you have quite the right functional skills for the role. Another one would be that you demonstrated overall the behaviors of a bar raising candidate from a leadership principle point of view, yada, 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 but in specific leadership principles where they really, really need the candidate to completely knock it out the park in those particular leadership principles, you just didn't. And then finally, maybe someone just was a tiny bit ahead of you in the process and they accepted the offer just ahead of your debrief and they effectively pipped you at the post. Now, clearly this sucks for you, it sucks for your recruiter, and it sucks for Amazon because there is potentially a great candidate here who there's just no role to match to. So what happens next when that happens is that the bar raiser will instruct the recruiter to see if they can find a similar role open elsewhere that maybe you could be a strong match for. And sometimes, if you're lucky, someone who is actually on your interview panel already has another potential role open. That does actually happen, and probably more often than you would imagine. Amazon recruits so much. So if the role is a very close match, the recruiter will arrange for you to meet the hiring manager of the new role for a conversational Amazon interview. Now, sometimes the role isn't an exact match, or the hiring manager of the new role feels that their team is different enough that the kind of conversational Amazon interview is just not going to be enough and it's not going to cut it. So they will invite you to do a mini loop. And I do have another video on mini loops. So what exactly is a conversational Amazon interview? Well, you'll meet the hiring manager one-to-one for an interview, which they will use to decide if they want to offer you the role in their particular team. Now, please remember your recruiter may say it's very informal, but the truth is it's still an interview, and as such, you really do need to treat it as you would any formal interview. So let's talk about what form it can take, because as with all things Amazon interviews these days, there just isn't a single prescribed way of running it. So the hiring manager could decide to approach it by asking you those why Amazon, tell me about yourself, and walk me through your resume, or talk about some specific projects that you've done. They could do that. Or the hiring manager could choose to do all of that, and on top of that, maybe ask you one or two behavioral questions. Or the hiring manager could choose to ask you some functional questions to gauge your technical capabilities for the role. Or the hiring manager could decide to literally have a really informal chat with you about the team, the role, the work, and ask you your thoughts on it and maybe how you think you'd fit. So I am sorry to say, if you are headed for a conversational Amazon interview, you will need to be prepared for anything. So the next question that I know you are going to ask me is how many people actually get jobs from a conversational Amazon interview? Well, to be honest with you, as you know I always am, there actually isn't any data that I have. In fact, I've got to be honest with you, I doubt that anyone in Amazon is actually tracking and analysing that data. However, if you are an Amazonian watching this and you know counter to that, please do get in touch and let me know. What I can say is that the overwhelming majority of candidates that I've worked with who find themselves going into a conversational Amazon interview end up being offered the role. So, if you are headed into a conversational Amazon interview, your odds are really, really good for getting an offer. Yay! But make sure you take the interview seriously and that you refresh your brilliant preparation that did so well to get you to this point. So if you found this video useful, please do give it a thumbs up so that other candidates can see it or drop me a little comment. Now what you need to do is click the link here to claim your free Day One Careers Customer Obsession Taster course. Watch that and you'll nail every customer obsession question asked of you in your Amazon interview. Or if you want to do that a little bit later, why don't you check out more here of our incredible insights and advice on Amazon interview preparation.